I was in I wouldn't say in a big state. I got a reasonably high tolerance of pain. But it was extremely painful, went on for a long time, far longer than necessary, without any, if you like, proper feedback. The beginning of this story is to do with dislocating my right hip in March, and was the cause of this incident. Well, on the day, I was sitting in this chair, we were having a drink, and previously I had noticed slight pains in my legs, or my right leg, but nothing particularly untoward. I mean, I hadn't connected it with the hip at all. I mean, just at this age, you get aches all over the place. Anyway, I was getting out of this chair, probably not very elegantly, and it went just like that. I knew exactly what the problem was because 2 weeks after I had the original operation for my right hip, I dislocated it doing something careless. So I knew exactly what a dislocated hip was, how painful it was. On this incident, so I was strewn across this chair, couldn't move, made a call to the ambulance service. I can't remember, we made many calls to the ambulance service over the next few hours, many hours. They went through, of course, a question and answer series. I was called back by a specialist or somebody further up the hierarchy. And the general impression was I would get some sort of response within an hour or two. That didn't happen. We became more and more concerned because we get more and more the feeling we were being fobbed off. Personally, I got the distinct impression that it was being treated like a dislocated finger or a knee, or, I mean, I have, in my early life, when I played rugby, I used to have a few dislocations and injuries. It was the order of pain was considerably more than that. And I just got the feeling, in terms of medical assistance and priority, it was treated like a fairly straightforward, simple fracture or some other incident. Whereas, I think hips are really quite serious, extremely painful. I couldn't move. I was suggested several times, can I hop to my car and come in? I mean, there's absolutely no way you can move either. I could move either leg. Speak to any orthopedic surgeon who's familiar with dislocated hips. They will tell you that's just impossible. It just doesn't happen. And so it went on. Ambulance guys arrived, I think about 5 in the morning, a couple of very nice chaps, but they had a great deal of difficulty getting the cannula in. In the end, they injected the morphine into me, at which point they could move me. Well, after whatever it took to take effect, 15 minutes. And they then got me into the ambulance. Then from that time onwards, it was a pleasure because I was high on morphine. I understand the pressure, national pressure on the ambulance service, and there's some messages in there, not only to the service but to the government, how you need to manage it. But I mean, from my point of view, as a user of the service, I think a 10-hour wait without kind of a proper explanation at the time is not right. I also feel frustrated that everybody seems so unaccountable.